What's up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam, back with another edition of my channel. So today we're actually going to be doing NXT Takeover in your house preview and predictions. There are 6 matches, and I'm hoping bringing back the in your house theme. They're going to be doing some really cool set designs like they used to do with the house, in the arenas. So there are 6 matches, and I'm going to be going through them. And I'm going to be giving what everyone calls confidence points. If you don't know what confidence points are, there are 6 matches. You take those 6 matches, assign them each a point value from 1 to 6, 6 being the most confident, 1 being the least confident. And as always, you can find me on my social media there, but I'm also trying to see if I can do a new layout, so possibly it might just be there. If not, it'll be there. So, we'll see. I'm trying to mess around with this, try to make it a little more aesthetically, a little more professional. So we'll see how it goes. So we're going to jump right into the matches. So the first match was actually just set up on the Go Home show. Also, I'll be doing my NXT weekend review today. I'm not sure when it'll go up. It'll go up sometime today. And I talk about, obviously, the Go Home show and some of the one match that was set up on the Go Home show, aside from the 5 that are already been assigned. So this one was 6-woman tag, Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. Obviously, it's been well documented, the beef between Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, through the matches that they've had for the last several months. And then, obviously, Candice LeRae, her new heel turn, has been feuding with Mia Yim. They had a match on the Go Home show, as well as Tegan Nox being inserted into that feud when she involved herself in the video of Mia Yim and Keith Lee doing the mock dinner of the Garganos, and the two of them having words, Candice and Tegan, during Shotzi and Raquel Gonzalez's match last week on NXT. So, like I said, it was made, on the NXT show. They assigned this match. I'm just gonna go straight to predictions. I think the faces are gonna win this. I just, as always, also with my predictions, I give my shoot prediction, who I think is going to win, and then my kayfabe prediction, who I want to win, as if I was just a mark. So I do think the faces are going to win, but I would like the heels to win. I think that would keep the storyline going. I think, obviously, by the heels winning, it's almost like, then what? Then the heels are just going to keep just going at it if they keep losing. I don't want to see Candice LeRae lose again, or so quickly, to be honest. After just turning, I think Dakota has kind of taken a backseat to Raquel Gonzalez the last couple of weeks. I'd like to see them keep going and build up that camaraderie between the two. So I'm going to give this 4 confidence points. I'm pretty sure the faces are going to win, just because. And so then we're going to our next match, which is Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Over the last couple of weeks, there actually really hasn't been any confrontation between the two of these. It's mostly been through video promos and interviews and video recaps and vignettes and whatnot. There really hasn't been a lot of build between these. Damian Priest, I like Damian Priest, Punishment Martinez. I think he's kind of sliding into that role of Dijakovic, the big guy who's in a lot of these feuds, but doesn't seem to win them. He might win a match or two, but overall, he's coming out on the bottom of these feuds. Also, I feel like the big win that Damian had and the big loss that Finn had is basically the same match in the Cameron Grimes match that Finn Balor had with him, because Grimes beat Balor with the help of Damian Priest, so Damian Priest got the one-up on him, and Finn Balor took his loss. I don't see them giving Finn another loss. Obviously they want to continue to build him up. So I'll go straight to my predictions. Shoot, I do think Finn is going to win, and I'd like Finn to win. I don't want to see Finn keep losing. I don't think I just don't see this feud really going anywhere that much. Obviously Damian Priest wants to live in infamy, and I think the gimmick is a little dumb. I like him as a wrestler. I think he can, with the right material, can be really good. I just think this gimmick is kind of stupid. And I think they want to give Finn the win here, just to kind of get the win back from losing to Grimes, and then eventually I'm sure he'll avenge his match with Grimes, and Damian Priest can do what he usually does and just be that heel that kind of just is like a pain in the ass, but really doesn't do any kind of real damage, especially on a takeover. Maybe if this was just an NXT match, I could see it going a little differently, but I do see Finn winning it, and I'm pretty confident in this, and I've given it 5 confidence points. The next match is Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross. This is Karrion Kross's first takeover, his first real high-profile match. Obviously, he's just had a lot of squash matches. This has actually been a really good build between them. There's been no physical confrontation. There was just that one promo that they cut together in the ring. I love that Scarlett, kind of held the ropes for him. Has been observing him from his matches, kind of being there. They both quote unquote say it's going to be special. I do think it is going to be a very special match. I think it's going to be a really good match. Obviously, a little surprised that they're giving Karrion Kross this match so soon. Because obviously, he's the big attraction, the big get for NXT. So to have him, have this kind of match so soon, obviously it doesn't bode well for Ciampa. I do think Ciampa can take the loss because I do think this would be, even if there's shenanigans at play, the storyline between the two I think will be really good. I don't think this will end with just one match. As we've seen with Ciampa, he is great at keeping these feuds going. Whether it's Dream, whether it's Cole, whether it's Johnny Gargano, obviously. He really steps up his game for these. And I don't think he gets hurt by a loss. Go to my predictions. I do think Kross is going to win. I do want Kross to win because I do think it's just, to have him lose so early would just be wrong. And I'm very confident in this. I have 6 points of confidence. So my most confident match is that Karrion Kross will beat Tommaso Ciampa. Next is the North American title match. We have Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano. I really do love Johnny's work as a chicken shit heel again. I also love the build between them. Just going back and forth. Obviously, they had a mixed tag match on the Go Home show, which I'll get into in my preview and my recap. The size, obviously, between the two makes it almost impossible to think that Johnny can win. But then again, Johnny has always kind of defied the odds. He beat Dijakovic a few weeks ago, who's obviously much bigger than him. It's also kind of interesting to see, what else is Keith Lee going to do? He took the title off Roderick Strong. He's beaten everyone that's come in front of him. What else is there for him? Do they see him as a inserting him into the main title, contention, and if so, then what does that bode well? Does that bode for the North American title? So going to my predictions, I do think Lee is going to win this. I just think he'll get his revenge on Gargano for standing tall. Obviously, I'll get more into it in my recap, but he stood tall on the Go Home show. I'd love to see Gargano win. I love Johnny Gargano, even as a chicken shit heel. I think he would be really good as a champion. I think that would also give the opportunity for Keith Lee to kind of move on, and then Gargano could start feuding with the rest of the kind of, I guess, quote-unquote mid-card of NXT, and probably develop some really good feuds there, and maybe make a star out of some of those guys, because that's what Johnny does. But I'm not really sure about this, because it really could go either way. I only have 2 confidence points on this one. Alright, next is the NXT Women's Title Triple Threat. We have Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai. The last promo, the vignette promo they did on NXT was great. Really highlighted all of them. The stuff with Io being underwater was really cool. It's really been a solid build. Obviously, Charlotte has pretty much stayed strong throughout the whole, but not so much that the other two look terrible. Obviously you get worried when they book Charlotte too strong and kind of bury the rest of the division. Unfortunately, I think it's unfortunate that Io has not gotten her due. She got her title match by winning the ladder match, and then obviously there were shenanigans with Charlotte, and then all of a sudden Rhea's inserted right back in, never really given Io her full shot. Obviously there's the looming threat of her leaving. There's been talks about her contract situation, her possibly going back to Japan. There's a lot of thoughts there. Obviously with Rhea, they had the Rocket Pack strapped to her in 2019, and since 2020 came, she, like everybody else, has had a very shitty 2020. They've kind of grounded her in that sense, And then also you got to think about like what's next for Charlotte. If she was to lose, does she just go right back to Raw? Does she stay on NXT? My personal thought is that they'll bring her right back to Raw. I think that would be dumb. I think they think she's a ratings grab. I don't think she really is. I mean, the numbers don't show it. I do think that she's a fantastic wrestler. I think she would be perfect for the women's division, even if she doesn't have the title. But it's just she seems more of someone that has to have the title. So I can see her then going back up and feuding with Asuka. So we'll go to my predictions. I do think Charlotte's going to win. I don't think they're going to take the belt off her right now because I think that they just want her on NXT, and I think without the belt, they feel like she shouldn't be on NXT. I'd love to see Io win it. I think she deserves it. I think she's earned it. I think it's also a good way to keep her in NXT. But I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up here. Obviously, they go right back to Rhea. Who knows? So that's why I only have one confidence point on this match. It's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a fantastic match, but I just don't know. Okay, let me just check here. How's the recording going? Oh, it's a pretty short one. She said, not really. So now we have the Backlot Brawl, the NXT title match between Adam Cole and the Velveteen Dream. Obviously, ever since Velveteen got hurt, kind of his status in NXT has been kind of reduced. He doesn't have the same kind of, I guess, juice you want to say, or the same kind of cachet as he did when he kind of started his feud with the Undisputed Era. Obviously there's been some talk backstage of some other issues that could have hurt Velveteen. I'm not going to get into them because I don't know whether or not they're true, but there has been significant talks about it. So, whether or not they are true, that could contribute to it. Obviously, there's talks of Adam Cole's contract situation. There's been talk on both sides that he's re-signed, that he's, his contract's coming up. Could he possibly go to AEW? He has a lot of friends there. His girlfriend is there. But I think it would be really terrible for WWE to lose Adam Cole if, in fact, his contract is coming up. Also, then what would you do with the Undisputed Era? Obviously there's not been a lot of real big build between the two because of, obviously, the pandemic and a lot of things going on. I mean, Dexter Lumis has had more interaction overall with Undisputed Era than they have, than Velveteen Dream has. And obviously, how will he factor into this match? Could there be call-ups on either side, Velveteen or the Undisputed Era? I think if either of the two were to be called up, I think Velveteen Dream should be called up. I think Undisputed Era would be fantastic on the main roster. I just think that if you take them, all four of them out, there's a huge gaping hole in NXT that I don't know if there's any faction or individual that would be able to fill that void. So I think it would just be really tough for NXT to replenish at that time. I'm sure they'll do it because NXT has always been good. I just think for the kind of interim time while they're figuring it out, there will be a very big lack of star power there. Also, how cinematic is this match going to be? Obviously, what I thought it was going to be seems like, based on the promo of Prime Target for it, seemed like it's going to be a ring is set up somewhere. It's going to be cars all around, with the headlights on. Loomis, I'm sure, will factor into it somehow. Even though, as I'm saying that, I kind of think I'm not going to get this right, but from my predictions, I believe Cole is going to win. I want Cole to win because Bay. I'm a huge fan of Adam Cole, and but I'm kind of middle of the road on this one because now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of lends itself for Dream to win it finally. And also, obviously, going back to the negotiations with Regal, if Velveteen loses, he can no longer get a title shot as long as Adam Cole is the champion. So then what would that mean for Velveteen Dream? So I'm going to go with 3 confidence points here. I'm kind of middle of the road. I'm not 100% sure. So there you have it. Those are my preview and predictions for NXT TakeOver In Your House, continuing the great tradition of In Your House pay-per-views. I have no doubt that NXT will not disappoint. They always put on bangers. I do hope that they do something cool with the set design, and that factors into one or a few of the matches. And so As always, you can find me on my social media. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Let me know how I'm doing. If I do get up this new format, I guess, or I guess overlay, aesthetics, whatever, let me know if you like it. If you want me to go back to the old form, social media is there or there, depending on how it goes. And yeah, I'll be back on with my AEW weekend review, my WWE weekend review, and on Monday I will do my NXT Takeover in your house reactions and review. So as always, stay safe. Be safe out there, everyone. No matter where you lean, no matter what you think, just be safe. Love everybody, all that kind of stuff. And bye now.
Well, listen, brother, you're gonna have to protect my neck. I've been having bad back problems and neck problems. I will protect you. Don't worry about it, Hulk. I will protect you. Thanks, brother.
He's going for the tombstone!
You got me, brother. You got me. I can't move. You got me, brother. You said you'd protect me, brother.